Hello, my name is Emily, as you may or may not know, and I know what some of the comments are going to be already. The yapping videos are supposed to feel like a FaceTime call, and now she has a nice camera. But guys, these videos can still feel like a FaceTime call. Mama just got a better phone. Okay? Let's see, what should the clickbait title be today? First, let me pose for the thumbnail. Serious, okay? I'm serious. I'm somber. I don't wanna get under it. Okay. I need to think about something serious. What's something serious? Financial advisor. How was that? Does it look concerning? Yay or nay? And then the title for today will be, hang on, I have to look at my other titles to see what else I've said because, you know, I don't want 2 videos named, like, please don't hate me or something like that. Let's see. What titles do I have so far? I have to be honest, I have something to tell you. We need to talk. There's something wrong with me. It's time for a change, addressing the hate. Please don't hate me after this. Okay, how about, maybe something like, I have to speak my truth, or forgive me, I'm begging. Forgive me, I'm begging. Let's go with that one. Okay, so first things first, I do have to admit I'm feeling a bit lazy today and I don't feel like cooking. I know that I normally, during these yapping videos, I'm like doing something, but I did order a salad. I went ahead and did that, so I'm waiting for that. But what I did go ahead and do is make this video an excuse to go thrifting. So I thrifted and I bought a couple of things and I decided, you know what I'm gonna do? Every 15 minutes, let me set a timer right now. Every 15 minutes, I'm gonna switch my outfit to show you guys like what I bought. And then that's going to be the activity while I, yep. Okay, let's make this, I'm gonna make it 20 minutes for this one. So, first thing that I want to talk about before I get into my list of things, right, I cut my hair, and what do we think? I think that I liked having long hair. It's far too hot. It is much too hot to be having long black hair, right? And some of you might be wondering, Emily, where in the hell even are you, right? First, let me show you my outfit real quick. Okay, so this is the shirt that I bought. I like it because there's like a layer under it, so I can kind of like layer it like this. It is not fitted, so I have to make sure, my underwear, sorry. So I do have a tail, but this is the outfit. I really like this long brown skirt, and I really enjoy patterns nowadays. I have this necklace that I think goes with the earth tones, and then these earrings that I think, wow, sorry. These that go with the this or that. Oh my god, that was such a K-drama moment or something. Wow, sorry. Anyways, why am I sitting on an air mattress in my living room, right? Well, here's the thing. It's so fucking hot in my apartment that me and my roommate, we have one godly AC unit right here. However, with the way my apartment is configured, it does not reach the back. My AC is not hitting it from the back, right? And that's another thing. I ordered a cooling fan because, tell me why, there's a thermostat in the back of my apartment, right? Not yesterday, but the day before. In the back of my apartment, aka where my room is, where I am supposedly supposed to sleep, 92 degrees. 92 degrees. I was laying in bed, twitching like a fly. Me and my roommate, we both kind of came out of our rooms at the same time and said, well, I suppose these are the cards we were dealt. So we blew up the air mattress and we slept out here in the living room next to the AC. And let's just say this, little Miss AC, oh my god, I'm already missing her. My skin already craves the touch of her slight breeze because I'm turning her off for the video. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna talk about some life updates. It's hot. The heat is, there's something about heat irritation that really just is so tangible. It's like, you could tell me that I won the lottery, but if I was like in the midst of like the heat and humidity, my reaction would literally be like, Okay, and like, can I get a water bottle with this supposed money? Does anyone have a water bottle? Hello? Like, someone could come up to me and say, congratulations, you just won a free trip across Asia. You get to visit the motherland. You've always wanted to do that, right? And that's when I would say, actually, it's even hotter there right now. So you can keep that to yourself, right? Anyways, yes, it's very hot. I've been watching Thai GL. I binge watched, so actually I was supposed to start filming this video a bit earlier, right? So I was supposed to start filming it a bit earlier. But I got so distracted by this new Thai GL that came out. It's called, okay, don't laugh at the name. Also, if you don't know what Thai GL is, it's basically like Thai lesbian web series, right? And ever since there was one that came out that was so popular called Gap the Series, and when people saw how successful that one was, they've just been churning it out like butter. Churning it out like the Amish churning butter when they have a quota to meet, and they also might be using substances to make them go faster. Whoa, sorry, that motion was a bit crazy. But I've been watching that. It's called Whale Store XOXO, which, funnily enough, sounds like the plus-size stores that they have in Thailand. You know, the stores like, I talked about it in one of my videos. There are stores called like BB Fat, Love Chubby, like Piggy Oink Oink, things like that are a bit offensive by Western standards, right? But I do think, I don't know, I think it's one of those things sometimes where we have a negative connotation with the word fat, and I think that it's slightly going away, where we can just kind of consider it a descriptor like being short or tall, right? So obviously, as a slender woman, you can definitely take this with a grain of salt. My opinion really means shisa in this conversation, right? But I think a store called like, I don't know, like Chubby Girls XOXO, like, what? I think it sounds kind of cute, because it's like, yeah, like, chubby girls, like, come shop here. Like, we have a lot of clothes that, like, could fit you well, because not a lot of stores have that. So chubby girls, come hither, right? Anyways, it's getting hot again already. But yeah, this series is super cute, and I've been binging it all morning. I watched episodes 1 through 4 this morning. And something that I really love about Thai GL is that they are not ashamed to be cheesy, cutesy, like vom voyage type levels of cuteness, right? Because I don't know, in Western media, it's like, you guys are a little serious. We can loosen up, you know? Like, not everything has to be so serious and like color graded in a bland way, right? However, with Thai GL, it's like one of those shows where like sound effects play okay, I'll do an example, right? Things like that. And I literally cannot help but I can't count the amount of times this morning that I actually squealed like a pig at the slaughter because the series is so cute. Like, I wish there was a compilation of all the noises that I made this morning, because like the 2 lead actresses of this show had prolonged eye contact. The way I kept screaming, my downstairs neighbors must think that I was watching a horror movie. But lo and behold, oh, it's not Hereditary, it's Whale Store XOXO. But yeah, let me know if any of you guys watched Thai GL. If you haven't, you should. They just, in the episodes that I'm watching, they just introduced this new character where I'm kind of like, ooh, I feel like there's gonna be a little bit of a love triangle, because she seems to be attracted to one of the lead female actresses. And if there's anything I love more than like a general love triangle, right? I mean, it's gonna be a lesbian one. It's gonna be, and that's the beautiful thing about these shows. It's like in an alternate universe, or I guess in just like a place that's very densely populated with lesbians, but it's like, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay. Everyone is gay. So all of the love stories and all of even the subplots are gay. It's literally Leslie Lavania in these shows, and I'm, well, of course, living and dying and being reincarnated for it. Jealousy arc? and maybe this is toxic of me, maybe this is toxic, but eating, ravenous, I'm starving, oh my god, I'm famished for it, right? I love it. However, in real life, I like when my girlfriend's jealous. I don't like feeling the jealousy because, well, oh, another life update I have is that I've been getting reconcerned about hair loss again. I know I've already talked about it before where I felt like self-conscious that my hair was thinning after I had COVID. And let's just say that sometimes after I shower, it appears that my scalp has left many little gifts for me in the forms of my hair falling out. So that's another reason that I got a haircut too, because I was like, I think I just need to, I don't know, I think you're like supposed to cut your hair like every now and then to keep it healthy. And I was like, maybe if I cut my hair, I won't get bald. I mean, that doesn't really make sense because cutting the hair starts here, but the baldness, it's all up here. It's all up here in your mind. No, it's actually quite tangible. Like sometimes when I get out of the shower, I have that feeling that I believe children have when they see their poop in the toilet, where they're like, whoa, that all came from me. I think that's a developmental thing. I have something to confess, actually. When I was younger, guys, I'm so sorry. I have to turn the AC back on. I'm really sorry if the sound annoys you. I'm gonna try and fix it in post. Hey, fix it in post, fix it in post. I'm sorry, it's getting hot. I'm gonna turn this way so the mic is like facing away from the air conditioner. But when I was younger, I would chronically make myself, should I even say this? Whatever. I would chronically make myself constipated because I would be afraid to poop and flush it down the toilet because I thought it was a part of me. Have I said this before? I've just repeated it to so many of my peers that it's hard to tell when I'm reiterating myself. But yeah, wait, I have another really embarrassing thing to say, but I think that I actually won't say this one because it's a little bit too embarrassing. But yeah, every time I would take a poop, I would look at my creation and I would say, that's my baby. And when my parents would say that I had to flush it, you're trying to abort my fucking baby? And then that's when I would kind of go all conservative on them, right? This is murder. You're a murderer. Yeah. Are any of you guys also losing hair? Or did any of you guys also maybe share that sentiment that I had as a child? I've been bad at practicing my Mandarin. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Yeah, I feel like every time I will get these like random spurts of being really good at practicing it. And any of you guys who are trying to learn a new language, I'm sure you can relate that it's almost like taking a multivitamin where it's like, it should be so easy to do this at least once a day. And well, here I am sitting before you iron deficient, right? Let's see, maybe should I try to say something? 大家好，我是你的姐姐，我就在你的手机，谢谢你们。看我. Thank you for watching me. That probably was not right at all. But okay, now I'm just gonna start getting into the things that I normally have written in my huge notes app, right? There should be a term for when you're not entirely bricked up, but you're kind of there. Perhaps styrofoamed up. Because styrofoam, it's solid, but it could still be easily broken and crumbled, right? And penises do that, right? But maybe, yeah, styrofoam, it might be too spongy. It might be too spongy, but it can be spongy. It can be, from my memory of, you know, handling them not in a romantic way, but more so in a cleaning way from when I was in the healthcare field. I think I want to move on now, actually. Rubbered up. Hey, and that also sounds like when you put on a condom, right? Okay, anyone here, man, woman, they or them, the next time you hook up with a man, if he is not too keen on putting on a condom, that's when you look him in the eye and you say, hey, you listen to me. You better rub her up. You better rub her, but then that sounds like rub her up. rub her up. Anyway, yeah, that was just a thought that I had. What's the next thing? Oh, this I actually wrote because I was watching the TGL this morning. In Asian dramas, the two romantic leads always have some connection where they met as kids or crossed paths in the past. Like, what do you mean my girlfriend in my 20s is the same girl who helped me tie my shoe in 1999? I'm sure you guys have noticed this in K-dramas too. Okay, hang on, the background is so dark, I'm gonna turn another light on. Okay, I'm sure you guys have noticed this too in K-dramas, right? But there's always a storyline where, you know, it was in Crash Landing on You, it was in... me being a fake fan as fuck, me naming like the most popular K-drama, but it's a thing, right? And I guess it's romantic, you know, this idea of like fate or something like that. But then it's also like, I think that sometimes you just meet someone and perhaps they, you know, weren't your cashier at the boba place in 2002. And then another thing that always happens in Asian dramas is like, and honestly American dramas too, there's gonna be a car accident. Oh, the moment you get behind the wheel, especially if it's a show that's been on for a long time, right? If you are a character in any type of drama and it is like around season 3, 4 area, you better get into that car with a thought and a prayer, because that's when the writer's room is kind of going, well, what now, right? Someone has got to get in a car accident, and it's always got to be, it's time to change my outfit. Hold that thought. Okay, next outfit real quick. Okay, first, can you even see that? Okay, hang on. So these are some shorts that I got from, I don't remember, but I like them because they kind of have like a, I don't know, like a Japanese style or something like that. And then I have this belt that I got from a thrift shop in Brooklyn. And then this shirt I thrifted as well, obviously. And it says, where does it say? Oh, right here. Italy, buongiorno. So wait, let me see if I can get a shot of the whole outfit. Whoa, okay. That cartoonish. I got suddenly embarrassed just now. But yeah, here's the outfit. I know I'm not Italian. I don't live in Italy. But it's just I've been there and I like it there. You know where else I like? Barcelona. But yeah, I feel like having a car accident in a drama is almost a given, and it has to happen after a fight or like a really happy moment, right? So it's either you just called me a deranged slut and I never want to see you again. Once you get in that car, my intuition's gonna be, oh, you're gonna regret saying that. You're gonna regret saying that because, or actually, hang on. No, I think it would be the other way around, where it's like, I call you an uninhibited, monstrous whore, right? You get in the car, and then once you're in that car, you're thinking to yourself, you're gonna regret saying that to me because in T-20, I'm about to be T-boned by an 18-wheeler, and then you're gonna be visiting me in the hospital crying, saying to yourself, I shouldn't have called her a monstrous whore, right? Oh my God, I just spat. Did you see that? I also wrote this morning. Sometimes when a fly keeps buzzing around me and won't leave me alone, I'm like, damn, do I smell like shit or something? Why are you all up on me? And after I wrote that, I did Google just to make sure, does body odor attract flies? And that's gonna go ahead and be true. It's gonna go ahead and be true. I just spilled on myself. Oh, God damn it. You know what? I'm not even gonna wipe it off though because it feels a little bit refreshing, right? There is currently a goddamn fly in my house. And listen, I don't always mind them when they have an idea of personal space, right? However, this fly, it seems to be that he or she would be living in my nostril if I let it. I'm trying to enjoy my cutesy Thai GL, and you keep interrupting me. I mean, it's homophobic. There's been times that I've had S of the EX variety interrupted by a fly, right? hi, this is not an orgy. You were not invited, right? It's so, oh my God, it makes me so irritated. That is the worst time for you to come, right? You're not supposed to come. You're not a part of this. And what's even worse is when you're outside and you walk through like a cloud of the small flies, like the gnats. When you are unsuspecting and you walk through that dusting of disgusting little insects, oh, that can really be something. That can really be something where it's like, oh, yeah, nature really is all around us, for better or for worse, right? For better or for worse. And another thing, I also saw a baby cockroach in here as well. So a little gift from the city to me, right? And I heard that having babies is actually worse because then you know that, well, I suppose I'm not the only one having sex in this house, apparently, right? There's a bunch of, not a bunch, but I hear it's better to see only adult cockroaches because it's like, hey, they might be in AARP at this point, right? They could be in the nursing home. Wait, no, roaches are like notoriously long lasting. Now I'm thinking about deodorant because I'm thinking about things that should be long lasting as opposed to cockroaches. How about let's work on that? Hey, that'd be a pretty good slogan, right? For things that are supposed to last long. Like, oh, it lasts longer than a cockroach, right? Also, now that I'm thinking about it, the name cockroach is like so disgusting. My salad's gonna be here soon. Because roach in of its own is its own word, and then you're adding to the start of it makes it sound like it's a roach of the penis, right? Like a roach, a tit roach, a clit roach. Oh my gosh, this next one is another dirty. It's always sex with you people. But it's really just about my love for ginger ale. So this is what I wrote. I love ginger ale. Canada Dry makes this American wet. Oh wow. I've truly done it. Moving on. Thinking about 127 hours, there's no way I could saw off my own arm. I know this because I struggle to even use my EpiPen on myself. Right. When I think about dire situations, and it's like, listen, obviously, I think the situation of 127 hours, for context, it's a movie where this guy, I think he's like a climber or something, whatever. He gets his arm stuck in between these rocks, and he's like alone and no cell service. Like, he's basically deserted, and he basically has to cut off his own arm in order to survive, right? So that's pretty dire. And I have a peanut allergy. Peanuts and tree nuts. That can also be pretty dire, right? People literally die from that as well. I don't think mine is not that severe, but it still is pretty dire. Like, it's like, you know, it's sort of like, well, if you're having an allergic reaction, you should use your EpiPen, right? If you are stuck between a rock and a hard place, you should cut your arm off, right? But I just have a feeling that it's hard for me to inflict pain upon myself. Should I try slapping myself in the face and see how hard I can do it? Is this even proving anything? Let's just see. Okay, I'm gonna do it hard and see how I can inflict pain upon myself. And maybe this will be an indicator of how well I would be able to cut off my own arm in 127 hours. Okay. Ow. Okay, wait. Hey, maybe I could cut my own arm off. No, I definitely couldn't. But story about my EpiPen, right? When I was in high school, there was a moment where I bit into a donut. Is my face red? I bit into a donut, right? And there was a filling inside it. And that's the thing about donuts, right? Sometimes it's not an icing or a glazing, but someone filled it, right? And it was a peanut butter filling. So then of course, I'm like feeling a little right? Because I'm kind of like panicking because it's supposed to be a moment of celebration. We were celebrating, saying goodbye to our student teacher. And that's when I had to interrupt the festivities and say, I have an announcement, right? So I went to the nurse's office and I had my EpiPen and I was, okay, just pretend that this is my leg, right? I had my EpiPen. Also, I'm so sorry. My eyes keep darting up to the viewfinder. I had my EpiPen and I was really gearing myself up to smash it in, right? I kept going like this. Right? I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. The nurse had to take my arm. Wait, okay. The nurse, I'm going like this. The nurse took my arm and went like this. So that she basically helped me. But yeah, I did feel maybe slightly humiliated in that moment, because I would have thought that in a situation like that for myself, the adrenaline would have kicked in and I just would, do what was necessary to, well, live. But lo and behold, I'm still here. Bish, I survived. I will never voluntarily sit next to the emergency door on a plane because it's too much pressure. You know when the flight attendants come by and... Sorry, I just had to burp. It tasted like pineapple. And I didn't eat pineapple. But when the flight attendants come around and they're, telling to the people in the emergency exits, like, are you willing to, help in case we have an emergency landing? Are you fully capable? Are you fully like this or that? And sometimes when they do that, they're kind of just like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You just have to say yes, buddy. Odds are we're not going to have an emergency landing. Odds are, despite what you hear in the news, right, we're going to get safely to our destination. I just need you to say yes to this little thing, just for legality, right? My salad is almost here. And right in front of my salad. Okay, hang on. I'll be right back. Check, 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 check. Guys, you'll never guess what it was. A chauffeur! I got my salad and I also received the cooling fan for the back of my house so that my room doesn't feel like an involuntary sauna anymore. Sorry, I feel like I'm being too animated. I think I need to tone it down. Sometimes people say, oh, Emily, like, I really love your personality. Like, me just bragging all of a sudden. No. Oh, I really like your personality. You're so, like, down to earth and da-da-da, things like that. But one thing I will say, guys, is that I'm amping myself up a lot for the camera. In interpersonal conversation, I'd say I'm actually quite calm. I'm not bouncing off the walls, switching topics willy-nilly and, K-dramas, Barcelona, Thai GL, car accidents, right? I'm not going back and forth like this, which is probably a good thing. Anyways, oh, yes, I could not sit in the emergency exit because, and it's like, listen, I know some people are going to say, Emily, you were literally a nurse. Like, I think you can deal with an emergency situation. But in the hospital, where I know that I have all of the resources that I need, that's different than when we're, hi John Mayer, free falling through the air. I don't know how I would handle that, right? And I guess at a certain point, some people, I think you get more leg room there when you're sitting in those seats. The leg room is not worth the even slightest potential that everyone on the plane would be depending on me to open that goddamn door because, like, listen, I'm sure that they tried to make it easy. Like, I don't think that they would design an emergency door on an aircraft to be really hard to open, right? Like, I don't think my fingers are going to have to travel through a labyrinth to unlock the key that then, turns a gear that is supposed to, da-da-da-da. Imagine if they made the emergency doors in a bunch of different places, like, really fucking hard to open. Where it's like, the plane is crashing, open the emergency door, and to do so, I have to solve a Rubik's Cube. Open this emergency door, But first, do this jigsaw puzzle and then do 5 somersaults, and then you have to get your retina scanned, and that usually takes about 20 minutes. Sorry, the way I'm reaching over, I feel like I'm like a POV. POV, I'm giving you a scalp massage before you go to bed. And speaking of hair loss, wait, this is not my hair. This is not my hair in my salad. I was literally gonna say like, okay, well, at least it's good to know that I'm not alone. Someone else is also experiencing hair loss. Veneers look like you're wearing a mouth guard that's designed to look like teeth. Yeah, guys, something that I really love about people is like their genuine smile and their genuine teeth. There's a couple things that I like. I like when people's bottom teeth are crooked. I like when people have ears that kind of stick out, like when people have ears that kind of stick out like that. I know that's a very Chinese thing to like, I guess. There's little things that I think is charming about people, right? Like, I really like my girlfriend's little beauty marks, and, you know, I'm not going to go too much into detail because I don't want to just start gushing or whatever. But I'm like, why? It's like, don't fix it if it ain't broke, right? Teeth are made to masticate, not to look like one huge uniform tooth, right? I think teeth can give someone so much personality, right? And something that I used to be insecure about, which I won't say what it is just in case someone else also has this quality. I don't want them to think that this is something that you should be insecure about because I was insecure about it. I just learned to accept it because I don't think I would ever get work done. But there was a time that it's like, you know, you just Google, I wonder how much this would be. I wonder how much a plane ticket to this particular place would be to get this certain thing done, right? Sometimes you just have something, you get hit with something called spirit of inquiry. And I texted my mom and I was like, what do you think, you know, like if I got this? And then she was like, why, you know, why would you do that? Don't do that. And then something about, you know, my mother's voice telling me, don't do that. It triggered something in me and I started trembling in fear because I'm scared of her. No, I'm just kidding. I was just like, you're right. You know, why would I want to spend my hard-earned money on that when I could be spending it on salad? But hey, you know, if you have veneers and you're happy with them, then that's awesome. What I will say is that sometimes certain veneers, they look like the way children draw teeth, where it's kind of just I will change my outfit after this, where it's just like a straight line with little lines. And there's absolutely no definition or character or whimsy at all. Filming these, I'm always like, how much should I eat? Because it's like, this is the yapping video, not the eating video, right? But I am hungry. Okay, I'm back and better than ever because I stopped by to get some delicious sparkling water. Okay, let me show you this outfit. So it's simple. I won't I mean, I guess I'll show you the pants. There's like a pattern on them. This shirt is, I don't know, I just liked the cut of it or whatever. So this shirt, and then I lost my other silver hoop earrings. I keep looking at the viewfinder, sorry. It's so hard to resist looking at myself, but I finally got a pair of new silver hoop earrings. Oh, and trust, these are gonna be in the rotation. These are gonna be in the freaking rotation. I had to step outside for approximately a minute and 30 seconds to get this water, and I'm already sweating. I'm literally sweating. It's so freaking hot. You know, summer, you're starting to get on my nerves. I'm starting to feel like that one white actor, I'm sorry your name is escaping me, in 500 Days of Summer, where he's like, I hate summer. Here's the thing, I don't hate summer. I think that your vibes can be great, but it's a little harder to enjoy the vibes when there is a puddle beneath me at all times. And I'm not talking piss, I'm not talking any other bodily fluid except for sweat. Sweat. I swear whenever I'm listening to a podcast, when the hosts are talking, it's fine. But then the ads come on and they are so loud for some reason. Like, baby, I can hear you. I'm still not buying the product, you know? And this is the same thing with TV commercials too. I'm sure it's like some sort of strategic thing or whatever. But it'll be like, okay, so let me imitate it, right? Pretend I'm two people during a podcast. So, I think that music can be pretty powerful. Yeah, I really like music. I'm a pretty big fan of it. What are your favorite songs? And welcome to SeaWorld. Get your tickets now. Like, it's so, like, hello. We were having a pleasant conversation about pop culture, and now all of a sudden you're gonna blast in my ears, get Minute Maid's new pink lemonade. Like, it's like, holy shit. Holy shit. Whenever I'm eating on camera, I don't know what to do. Like, obviously I can't talk. Hum? Do you want me to hum? But, yeah. And also, this is a thought that I had. I know that I already wrote this down in here somewhere. I'm not sure where. But they're just thinking about commercials and stuff. I had this thought about the Super Bowl halftime show. What if instead of having a musical guest, they did a 45-minute mindfulness meditation? God knows some people in the crowd might need it. You know, I'm just imagining people buzzing about being like, oh, I wonder who's going to perform at the halftime show at the Super Bowl. You know, they're keeping it a secret. It's probably a big surprise. Who knows? It could be Beyonce, Gaga. Where are we putting our money, guys? And then you know who it is? It is Mary Wilshore from Portland, Oregon. And she shows up with wind chimes and multiple different containers of water that are filled to different degrees. And she goes, everyone close your eyes. Think about a time that you were grateful. What's popping up into your mind? Feel your feet touching the floor and let the energy run up into your torso. And then everyone is like, hello? Hello? Where's the boom bop? Boom, shakalaka. Where's the fireworks? Where's the backup dancers, right? It's literally just this lone woman with an earpiece, and she's just kind of going like this in the middle of the field, and she's saying things about like your inner child. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just wondering maybe how that would play out. And maybe in between every commercial break, there's no actual commercials. It's just sort of like, it's like white noise to help people calm down. I wonder what Santa's insulin dosage is, because I know that man has diabetes. Delivering gifts to every child in the world. And then definitely not every child is leaving out cookies for Santa, but some of them are. You know what we should start leaving out Santa? Maybe some like carrot sticks and hummus, you know, maybe some like a multivitamin, right? A syringe of insulin even. And even besides the health part, it's kind of like, how many cookies can one person possibly eat, right? If you give a mouse a cookie, he'll enjoy it the first time. You do it on account of almost every single child around the globe, he might want something else, right? How about we start leaving things where it's like food from our different cultures, right? Hey, that would be fun. Instead of leaving out Santa generic chocolate chip cookies every time, how about I make you dim sum, right? Or how about you get like naan bread here, you get you know, a side of tzatziki sauce here to bring home to your lovely wife, right? It's kind of like, I don't know, cookies for Santa, it's very much giving florals for spring, right? If I were him, I would be like, you know, I have a more advanced palate than just Pillsbury. But what I will say, an awesome thing about being a parent is that, obviously, trigger warning for those of you who don't know, Santa is, unfortunately, for all intensive purposes, not real, right? It must be awesome as a parent to wake up later, for it to be like around like 11:30 midnight, you know, when the kids are asleep. You get to go downstairs with your wife and munch a bunch of cruncha on those goddamn cookies, right? Because it's like, hey, we need to sell it. We need to sell it. Not a single crumb can be left, right? We need to make it look like Santa was famished. But isn't that kind of a cute thought? Like sneaking downstairs with your wife and quietly eating the cookies and being like, oh my god, our kids are gonna wake up tomorrow and be like fucking gagged. Oh my god, little Timmy is gonna come downstairs tomorrow and he's gonna go, gag! Gag it, gag it. Yeah, if only I wanted kids. I could do that for my sister. Here's the thing. I want my sister to have a baby purposefully, right? But if it's gonna happen on accident for anyone, it's gonna be her, right? Having a baby for me, I can't do that on accident, right? So I just think that I would be such a killer aunt. I would be such a fun lesbian aunt. I would totally eat the cookies. Well, my sister and her husband would probably just do that, huh? Oh, so there was a time that I went to a haunted house, right? This was the next thing under that, what I just read. I went to a haunted house. It was around $48, I want to say. And I'm already starting to get a bit nervous. I like horror movies because it is contained to my screen, right? As soon as things are popping out right in front of me, God forbid you're touching me and things like that, I will never in a million years do the types of haunted houses where it's like, you're touching me, right? It's like, you can scream and yell at, berate me. I think that's already enough for me. I don't need a whole when push comes to shove, when punch comes to kick, right? I don't think they're punching and kicking you. But you go to a haunted house and you literally just get like beat to a pulp. But I was in line to sign the waiver. When I tell you, when I was signing this waiver, my cursive was barely legible, barely legible. I was absolutely frightened, and I was at the front of the line in my cohort of people who were going through the haunted house, right? I had to be pushed forward because I couldn't move. I was so scared. I was literally, and listen, I'm a very frugal person, and I was thinking, I will throw this $48 away if it means that I can just live in peace and not have to do this. Because there was the first part of it of like getting into the haunted house, you had to go through a school bus. And I was like, I know that there's something in these seats and they're waiting to pop out at me. And let's just say if I shit on myself, all of you guys behind me, hi, slip and slide, have fun with that, right? Oh my gosh, I was so scared. I cannot believe how scared I was. But then towards the end, I started to feel a little bit more like, I just had to change my mindset because I was like, okay, think about this, Emily. You are an actor. These people are actors. They're not gonna hurt me. Think about this logically, woman, right? You think that this institution wants a lawsuit? But I guess that's why I signed the waiver, huh? Hey, if we draw blood, you signed the waiver. You said, hey, it's okay with me. But yeah, comment down below. Oh, wait, let me do the secret code question now. What is the scariest thing that you could find in a haunted house, right? What's the scariest thing you could find in a haunted house? For me, I don't like clowns. I don't like clowns. And I don't like, maybe women who contort themselves. Aristocats? No, oh my God, acrobats. Women, they could be guys too, but when they like contort themselves and they're like crawling towards you like exorcist style, yeah, that's all right. I could do without that. Why don't we just maybe take a normal stroll and you don't have to be bending it over like Beckham for me. But okay, I think I've filmed enough. I hope you guys enjoyed today's little yapping video. I don't know, I might want to try and see how I can change these yapping videos at all. Like when I made the video with Izzy and Emma, it was so fun. Like, that's probably because I was with them though, that like filming in public is really not that bad. No one gives a fuck, right? Like I could literally be laying on the floor doing snow angels on the hot concrete and like people might look at me and just kind of be like, okay, well, you know, hey, it's New York, right? I want to try and get maybe a little bit better at filming myself outside. So maybe I would try and do one of these yapping videos outside once. It's kind of hard when there's no one. It's easier when there's someone with you and it's like a group of us going through like the mutual humiliation. But when all the humiliation is just put on me, it's kind of like, it's safer inside these four walls, right? But anyways, cheers, ding. I hope you all enjoy your day. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and yeah, until next time.